In the year 2025, the judiciary heard and determined several cases that significantly impacted the polity. Kemi Foladi Emo and Celestina area captured some of the major happenings in the judicial sector within and outside the courtrooms.
It was a mixed grill of landmark judicial pronouncements on criminal matters ranging from corruption, politics, terrorism, and other alleged offences, as well as civil cases. In November, the federal government secured the conviction of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, before Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court, Abuja. The prominent case, filed in 2015, had 4 judges presiding over it at various stages. Nnamdi Kanu was found guilty on 7 counts of terrorism, with Justice Omotosho classifying him as an international terrorist, citing his alleged intention to bomb the British High Commission, the American Embassy, and to assassinate the then British High Commissioner, Catriona Laing. He was also convicted for making broadcasts threatening anyone who failed to obey sit-at-home orders in the southeast, inciting the killing of security personnel, and ordering the manufacturing of bombs and other explosives. In its judgment, the court held that the defendant couldn't complain of lack of fair hearing, noting that he was granted 6 consecutive days to open his defense, but repeatedly made excuses to stall the trial. The judge added that despite the court's patience and approval of his request for witness summons, he abandoned the process and refused legal representation provided for him. Nigeria's legal efforts against terrorism in 2025 also saw the Department of State Service filing charges against 5 Ansaru leaders, while trials continued for the alleged mastermind of the 2011 United Nations building bombing in Abuja, Khalid al-Banawi, for others, as well as alleged terrorist negotiator Tukur Manu. In October, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, in collaboration with the Nigerian Immigration Service and the Nigerian Correctional Service, deported the final batch of foreign nationals convicted for cyber terrorism, internet fraud, and related financial crimes in Lagos. This brought the total number of repatriated foreigners from the massive 2024 sting operation to 192, including nationals of China, the Philippines, Tunisia, Malaysia, Kyrgyzstan, and Timor-Leste. The Lagos State government urged the Supreme Court to affirm the 2023 conviction of former medical director of the Optimal Cancer Care Foundation, Olufemi Olaleye, whose life sentence for defiling his wife's 16-year-old niece was overturned by the Court of Appeal. The 57-year-old is currently remanded in the United Kingdom over fresh allegations of recording sexual acts involving several women. In December, the Supreme Court, while ruling on the suit challenging the powers of President Bola Tinubu to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State, upheld the president's constitutional authority to declare a state of emergency to prevent breakdown of law and order or descent into anarchy. In a split decision of 6-1, the court held that while the president may suspend elected officials during a state of emergency, such suspension must be for a limited period. Also in December, the Apex Court dismissed the appeal filed by Mariam Sanda, who was challenging her conviction for the murder of her husband, Bilyaminu Bello. The court also faulted the president's exercise of pardon powers while an appeal in the case was pending. For most of the year, the courts handled several high-profile corruption cases. In January, the Lagos Special Offences Court dismissed an application by former Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele challenging the court's jurisdiction in his alleged corruption trial involving about $4.5 billion and 2.5 billion naira. The trial continues in 2026. And in July, the coroner investigating the death of musician Ilerioluwa Aloba, popularly called Mohbad, concluded its proceedings, recommending his burial and the prosecution of auxiliary nurse Feishayo Gidingbe for gross medical negligence. As part of efforts to sanitize the bench, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, who also heads the National Judicial Council, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, in June recommended 21 candidates for judicial appointment, compulsorily retired 10 judges, and cleared 9 others of age falsification allegations. The council also barred a National Industrial Court judge from promotion for 3 years and issued warnings to 5 others. The judiciary was thrown into mourning with the death of 2 former Chief Justices of Nigeria, Justice Mohammed Uwais in June and Justice Tanko Mohammed in December. The sector was further shaken by the murder of a retired Delta State High Court judge, Justice Ifeoma Okogu, in late November.